What's up, everybody? It is right inside the 2 o'clock hour here in the city of Muskegon. You are tuned in to Making Moves Monday right here on 103.7 The Beat. I am your host, Jan Ross. Um, Good to be back on again this week. It's cold outside. Kids had all them snow days last week. So hopefully you were able to enjoy your children while they're at home because good Lord knows they need to be in school every single day the rest of the school year. So hopefully we won't get, some bad weather coming up here. I always recap the weekend. Shout out to everybody that came out last night to our first karaoke night at the Hideout. Y'all, we had a ball. If you get a chance, go check the Hideout page. For the videos. Y'all, we had a good time. So that's going to be every Sunday, starting at 8 o'clock, right at the Hideout, 100 East Broadway. So hopefully we will see you there next week. Shout out to everybody who's in Miami right now. For sure wish I could have been down there and got away from this cold. But celebrating Miss Cecilia's birthday, 60th birthday this weekend. A whole gang of people from Muskegon and Grand Rapids are down in Miami celebrating with Miss Cece. So definitely want to give her a happy birthday shout out. She is one of the classiest ladies that I know. So I know Uncle Wes like set it out down there for his guests. I'm pretty sure it's a production. So again, happy birthday, Miss Cece. And sorry we couldn't be down there, but I mean, I saw the people. It's a nice group of people down there. So um on my show today, I am so excited to have these two ladies on the show today. I have Miss Angelita Valdez, who is the owner of Services of Hope, Services de Esperanza, goes by both names. Located now on the corner of Getty and Ada. However, she is moving. So excited for her and her new building. Doing some really good things in the community in general. And Miss Mary S. Sierra, the owner of Navarro's Mexican Takeout, right on 8th Street in Muskegon Heights. Been there for a long time. So I am going to bring them in. All right. Hi, ladies.
Hello.
Hi. So these two ladies are related. They are aunt and niece duo, correct?
Yes.
I got that right? Okay. I know when Mariana told me that Angelita was her aunt, I'm like, what? Say what now? But I am so excited to have you ladies on the show and talking about your upcoming books and what you're trying to do here in the community. So we'll talk also about your personal businesses, but you guys are in a pitch competition coming up.
Well, we're trying.
Oh,
So
okay.
we have submit for Start Garden's 5x5 night. So Start Garden, for those of you who don't know, is a wonderful organization that's based out of Grand Rapids. And they are all about helping small business and entrepreneurs scale, grow. So every month they hold a pitch competition called 5x5,
Hmm.
where five businesses are selected by popular vote. And then those five businesses go on, they pitch, and one person takes home a giant check for $5,000. So,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely lucky to have been able to attend some of those and see, some of my friends actually win the pitch competition. So I'm definitely excited for you ladies. And the idea that you came up with for your pitch, what you would like to do is
So, Angelina, as you shared, owns her private therapy practice. She's wonderful with my kids. She's a wonderful play therapist. And I just see the light that she brings into so many families in our community. And as a parent, we all know there's no manual on how to be a parent, right?
so
So,
ain't
no.
man,
So,
listen.
um,
It's
so,
trial and error out here.
so when we are so blessed to have her because she's such a wonderful resource to our family. And every time we're going through something, she has been amazing in recommending books. So we don't have the manual, so we're turning to books. And we noticed more and more that in all of those books, none of the characters, none of the stories They didn't look like our family. They didn't speak the language that we speak at home.
Mhm.
So that's where the idea was born, to team up together and create Libros de Esperanza, which means books of hope in Spanish, so that we can bring a little bit more hope to our community and have more resources for kids in our community that look like them.
Yes, I love it. When I first seen the thing on Facebook, I was like, "Oh my God, this is awesome!" And then to see both of you involved in it, which, Navarro's, like I said, has been around since I was a kid, going to Heights High School, and maybe even before that, maybe even middle school. I'm not sure, but definitely used to run over there on lunch, and grab something. And it's so nice to see you take over the
Thank
family
you.
business over there. So we're definitely glad that you decided to step up and do that.
Yeah, so like you said, it's been there for 40 years, part of our family, and it's mind-blowing now. Like I grew up there, like after school we would be there and we would play behind the building growing up, and now I get to see my two kids,
Hmm.
walking the same steps that me and my brother used to walk, or kids, people coming in and customers and like, I came here since I was a kid and now they're bringing their children to the restaurant, and so it feels really full circle.
Yeah. Angelita, you've been quiet.
I'm just listening to you lovely ladies.
You've been quiet. So, did you always know that you wanted to be a therapist? And, how did that come about? And then starting your own practice, like, how did that come about for you?
I think it's just lived experiences. We are born and raised here in Muskegon, and so I always knew that when I went to school, I would come back home. And I too grew up at Navarro's, and I think that is what gave me the culture and the confidence in myself to be able to go out to college. I think that when you are black and brown in Muskegon County, they don't really count you in, and you're not really invited to the table because you're not exposed to the table. And so
Hmm.
when I was in high school, I probably had at least a 3.6 GPA. I wasn't a genius, but I wasn't dumb either. And my college counselor never talked to me about going to college.
Wow.
So I go to Michigan State, and my mom always did work in the community. She was an activist. She was on the NAACP board here in Muskegon County. She was on the Women's Council. And so I knew I wanted to do social worker because she worked right there at 2700 Baker. She was a social worker, and I knew that's what I wanted to do. But I didn't want to do it in a way that was offensive. And I knew that I could do it better because I'm from this community. I look like the community that I'd be working with.
Yes.
And that folks weren't thinking about our little black and brown kids, and they're not treating our black and brown folks the way that we can do it. And so that's where the concept came from my office. Um, and it's been fantastic. We're going to be 9 years old in March, and that we're
Wow.
moving. And I created this business for a platform for clinicians of color. And I am proud to say that half of my staff are clinicians of color. We groom them, we take interns, and it's just exciting to do the work that we do.
That's awesome. 9 years. Wow. I didn't know it was that long. Like, were you always at that location?
We started out in Seminole, but we've been at this Getty location probably for the last 7 years.
Okay. All right. Wow. Huh.
Yeah.
I live right down the street from there. So I mean, I'm like, well, how, I honestly, I think I didn't really know about like what the services were and what you offer until I was forced to go there.
Yes, no, we do a lot of different services. I would say the thing that makes us different is our trauma work and that we
Mhm.
have clinicians of color. So we speak different languages, we have non-traditional appointment times, and our thing is we have a lot of mandated clients. So OWIs, and back in the day we had marijuana charges. So we do alcohol highway safety classes, substance
Mhm.
abuse outpatient, and we also see all family members. So as young as 3. So, as Madi mentioned, I'm a registered play therapist, and I'm the only registered play therapist supervisor for Muskegon and Oceana counties,
Oh
and
wow.
the only Spanish speaking registered play therapist, substance abuse therapist, and therapist in Muskegon County and Oceana County. So, when we think about that, we are doing work for the whole state of Michigan now that we can do things online. But seeing kids as young as 3, and people are like, play therapy, you just play at work all day. Yeah, actually. We have a play therapy room. We have something called bibliotherapy where we utilize books to help the kids. And we see children as young as 3 because when you think of trauma and
Mhm.
trauma in Muskegon County, trauma explained to children is an upsetting, confusing event. If you
Yes.
think about your lifetime as an adult, how many upsetting and confusing events have you had?
Right.
I probably had one every day this week. Thinking about how we use these terms. And so that's where the practice comes from. That's where the work comes from. And that's where these books are coming from because we want to have a bilingual, bicultural platform.
That is awesome. So have you all started to actually write the books yet, or
Yes.
what would so if you get the $5,000, what will you do? What will you do with it?
Yes. So we have written our first book. It's called En Mi Casa, which in English is In My House. And it follows 2 characters that are lovingly inspired by my 2 kiddos. And it follows their day throughout their home life and their school life. And it celebrates the differences, but also the similarities. So our first step is just creating that acknowledgement and reflection of this beautiful life that we live, living in 2 worlds in this book. So we are working with a publisher. We recently submitted our manuscript, and we should have physical copies by the end of this year, which is really exciting.
Oh wow.
So we've worked together to fund this first step. So if we were to win the $5,000, it would be to market the book, get the word out, and also start our next project because we want to make this contribution to our community, but we don't want it to be one and done. We want to continue creating books. Especially this one is a little bit more lighthearted, and we
Hmm.
want to be able to create more content that can be used in bibliotherapy.
Okay.
So yeah, so funding the next project, marketing, and we want to, of course, like I said, impact our community. So we want to make a contribution to Read Muskegon, our local public schools, and libraries in the Lakeshore.
That, like I said, is awesome because, like you said, we don't see, a lot of books, dealing with some of the real life stuff that our kids face, living in the inner city. And like you said, Angelita, it's trauma all over the place, and you just never know what somebody is dealing with at home, and sometimes how they act out um as a result of it. A lot of the teachers in the school, just want to refer them or kick them out of school, and I'm like, that is not the solution.
Absolutely, because those behaviors, they're just trying to kick them out, but those behaviors are trying to teach you something. In the
Yes.
play therapy world, we say that play is their first language and the toys are their language. And that's exactly what we're looking for. A child doesn't have the capacity to tell you the words, oh,
To articulate.
my,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
they can articulate it. My dad hit
Hmm.
my mom, or my granny just passed away last night from COVID. They
Hmm.
can't tell you those words. They don't even know what that means, but they can show you.
Hmm.
And I think it's important for us to be able to have a platform where it is visually appropriate for children, where it's fun and there's characters that look like them. I would say back a couple years ago, there was a lot of hype about a little kid's book that was called Hair Love. And it was created by an African American father for his child. So she would love her natural hair. And that was the first time that we really saw someone take the time to have characters and love for our culture and our uniqueness and to be proud
Hmm.
of it.
Yes.
And that's what
Absolutely.
we're looking to do.
Absolutely. So how can I know you guys take, like state medical, and all of that. But if someone is looking, someone knows that their child could benefit that. And here's another thing, people, don't be afraid to act, because culturally, seeing a therapist is like taboo. You know what I'm saying? It's just something that we didn't do. We weren't brought up to do. We were kind of, people were looked at differently if they went and saw a therapist for different things. So and that's just always been, a cultural thing. You keep family issues private. You know what I'm saying? And come on now, it's raised a lot of broken adults. Okay, so if people want to utilize your service, and like you said, you start as early as 3 years old, and go all the way to adulthood, how can they get in contact with you, Angelita?
Yeah, if they want to come to counseling for themselves, for their children, as a family, as a couple, all they have to do is call our main number. That's 231-722-7980. And the beauty of it is for folks that have, say, for example, Medicaid health insurance. If
Hmm.
you have Medicaid, it's absolutely free for you for the entire year. They will even provide transportation. So if you
Hmm.
don't have to worry about spending gas or having to find a ride, they will come pick you up and take you to our appointments. And with COVID, we have telehealth. So you don't even have to leave your house. You can do it right from a smartphone or from a
Yes,
computer.
Lord, they do. You can do it right at home.
So it can be absolutely free for you. It's just giving of your time. If you have private insurance or if you work for a company, for example, the hospital or Herman Miller, they have something called an EAP. It's an employee assistance program. And again, it's free services for you. And like I said, we'll see families, we'll see couples, we'll see children, we see adults. There's also a great Facebook group called Clinicians of Color Grand Rapids. It's
Hmm.
coming right out of Grand Rapids. And for folks that it's important for us to embrace our culture and to see our community, if that is something that's on your heart, please make sure that you also look at that Facebook group. We have a directory that all of us clinicians of color on the Lakeshore and in Grand Rapids are that we're part of, and just to share therapy. There's I think it's called Your Therapeutic Apparel. One of the clinicians of color in Grand Rapids, she created a brand, and there's T-shirts that says you can have church and your therapist too. Like you don't have to pick one. You can have
Right.
both. And we're really just that third party that's not related to you. We don't have an opinion. We're just trying to help you be the best version of yourself. And with COVID, so many people have had mental health instances come up: anxiety,
Yes.
depression, being stuck in the house, having to learn how to parent and live with your kids 24 hours or your spouse 24 hours when we couldn't leave the house. So it's really important for all of us to just be living our best life. And that's being true to ourselves by addressing the things that are getting in our way.
That okay. That's awesome. I know I keep saying that, but it is. Like I said before, you never know. Sometimes you don't recognize that you could use a little help. You know what I'm saying? But so what are some of the signs of like falling into a depression that people can be out on the be on the lookout for?
Any changes in character, and this goes for your children, for your teenagers, for your partners, if you're looking at changes in character, like maybe they just have a bad attitude or they're really irritable or grumpy. I think on TV, we look at somebody who's depressed as they're in the bed or they're crying all the time. That's not all of us. I mean, yeah, sometimes we might have a breakdown or we might cry sometimes, but for those of us that keep all those emotions in, it might be more irritable. It might be us saying we're going to show up somewhere and then we don't go, and it's out of our character. You're looking at any of those pieces that is not right.
Mhm.
It can
Wow.
affect sleep, it can affect appetite. So again, just any of those changes.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Definitely sounds familiar. I'm not gonna lie. COVID had me like ready to build a new house or something. Like I was like, man, I cannot just sit here any longer. Like I'm not gonna lie. Me having to come there was kind of a blessing that I didn't know, you know, I needed. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really didn't. And me and my therapist were able to talk about different things, not just the reason I was there. You know what I'm saying? And I was telling her something one day, and I mean, we talked, probably I think 30 minutes or whatever. And I was like, man, I should write a book. And she was like, I would read it just based off our conversation, just about different things that, have happened in the last few years as I've come to the forefront, I guess, in being more active and, being an activist and just doing more community work. And it comes with a lot. So I was definitely thankful for the service that you offered, even though I didn't know I needed it at the time. So again,
Absolutely.
guys, go ahead.
I was just going to say it's for everybody, and even the
Yeah.
best therapists have therapists.
Yeah,
Why?
I said that on Facebook not too long ago. Somebody posed the question about therapists, and I was like, even therapists have therapists. So it's always good. Like you can talk to your friends, but of course they're going to be um kind of biased. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to find people that are going to give you like the real, and sometimes you need to hear it. you know?
Absolutely. And we're not going to make those hard decisions like leave that relationship or even put boundaries for our family because
Hmm.
remember, we're raised to be with your family, to respect
Yes.
your family, to say nothing and just to do. And sometimes our families can be toxic for us. And so that doesn't mean we need to cut them off, although sometimes, I mean, that could be an option. But we do need to learn how to be respectful to ourselves, to put
Hmm.
ourselves first, so that way we can give our best to everybody around us. And
Yeah.
even as a business owner, there were tons of business owners, especially our small business community, that almost lost their businesses last year during COVID.
Yes. Yep.
So, of course, we needed counseling because that's our livelihood. And when you are a business owner, you put your whole soul into your business.
Hmm.
And we're still fighting and trying to promote each other and to come together. So all of those instances, it doesn't have to be you're crazy or you're about to go to the hospital to go to therapy. It's
No.
really for any life change that you want to peel back the layers to.
Yes. And yeah, and you'll find there's a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, you'll find that there's a lot of layers. That's all I'm gonna say. I was about to get personal, but it's a lot. So Mari, what's new with Navarro's? What do you guys
Yeah.
got coming up?
So, like Angelita said, we have been really blessed. Like, there is really no other place like Muskegon and the other businesses in Muskegon County. We have been very loved and very blessed by other businesses. And so I'd like to say thank you to all of them. But we are just getting with the times at Navarro's. So we recently added online ordering so that you can order right from your computer or your smartphone, and we'll have it ready for you. Felix, my husband, is venturing the cold, and he added curbside, so you don't even have to get
Oh,
out of your car. We'll bring it
there
right
it
out to
is.
you. And we have, like I said, been very blessed by other small businesses. So we want to do our part and support other small businesses. So for delivery, we have partnered with Lakeshore Delivery Partners. So you don't even have to come see me in my yellow building at Navarro's. They will bring you your food, and you don't have to be cold. So
Well, that's a blessing. We all know those delivery services have come up in the last 2 years.
yes,
So, yeah, because nobody wants to go out in the cold. It was 0 degrees. Shoot. I don't know. I
yes,
didn't want to go, unless I had to go to work. And that was the only reason I wanted to come out the house, really.
right. And then
Um,
we are still focusing on our tamale side of the business. So we have been at the Muskegon Farmers Market on Saturdays. So me and the kiddos are slinging tamales. We have our green hot sauce and the gravy that everybody knows and loves from the
yeah.
burritos and the chip cheese meat and gravy. And what's really exciting about the farmers market is that we are able to accept EBT there. So getting the food that you know and love, and it's more accessible to more families in Muskegon. So
That's awesome. Um, what was I about to add? Oh, good Lord. That's why I need to take notes because I just had something on the tip of my tongue. And now I can't remember what it was. So no, collaboration. Okay, so every week I talk about collaboration over competition. So I know, Mari, you've collaborated with some businesses here locally. Do you want to shout those out and say what the ventures have been?
yes, so the business godmother to us all, Miss Kaya Thornton Hunter.
The guy
She
like that.
Yeah, so she was instrumental in us taking the decision to really dedicate a lot more time to Navarro. So we've been able to collaborate with her, just bouncing ideas off each other, supporting each other for pitch competitions.
Hmm.
Um, I was able to go cut some sausage for one of her crab boil pop ups. So that
Hmm.
was really fun. We also did a collab with Hamburger Mikey.
Yep.
So they did their fries with our green salsa on top and our grilled steak carne asada. So yeah, it's really been amazing to be part of this community, and we all want to see each other thrive. And it's actually through Kaya and her group of friends where I actually learned of the infamous Miss Jen Ross and her saying of collaboration over competition. And it's, that's what Muskegon is all about. There is enough room at the table for all of us, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful how much we support each other.
Yes. And I'm learning too now that, even when there's not room, it's enough of us to build a whole nother table. Okay.
That's right.
And just get it done. Like I am like overjoyed at the amount of collaboration that I've been seeing. Like, this is what it's all about, and this is like the steps that are needed to rebuild the community, if you will, because you know there's just enough out here for all of us. You don't have to be jealous or spit hate on what somebody else is doing. Um, and another thing I said is, stop asking Facebook. Like, that's not your look. Quit asking Facebook. If I sell this on the weekends, would y'all support me? What? Stop asking Facebook. Just sell it and see what happens. You know what I'm saying? And don't give up. Do not give up. Don't give up, because you only got 3 sales the first time. Keep it consistent and, things will happen for you. So, okay. But they got a pitch competition. Hey, they need some votes,
Yes.
y'all. So, they need some votes. Y'all tell them. I know I have the link on my Facebook page. I'll share it again today. Um, but I've been voting
Thank
every
you.
day. So as many times they let me vote, I'm voting,
Mhm.
because this is something that we need. Multicultural books, definitely can't have enough of them. So, and then with the therapy piece included in that, these are not just meaningless books. They help out. So, how can they go vote for you ladies today?
Yes. So we will continue to share the link on our platforms. And thank you, Jen, for sharing. But if you can't find the link, you can go to Start Garden's website. You can Google Start Garden 5 by 5. And there's a list of all of the ideas. Our idea is listed under Libros Esperanza. And this first round is by popular vote. So tonight is the deadline, 11:59. You have to vote for us. And with your help, we hope to be able to go to the live event and bring home Muskegon and Libros Esperanza a giant check.
Yes. $5,000. They need
Yes.
it. So everybody take some time out today. It doesn't take long. It really doesn't. You can take 60 seconds out and go vote, so that they can, get some more votes in today. Do you guys know where you're at right now with the votes or no?
No, they don't share how many votes have been calculated for each participant, but we have really good chances. We submit early. We appreciate all of you who have voted so far. So we are very hopeful that we'll make it to the next round, but we could always use all the help. So if you could please go vote.
Yes. All right. So, yep, go vote. And if you, like I said before, require any or, just want to talk more with Angelita or any of her staff about their services, Angelita, go ahead and give them that phone number again.
231-722-7980.
All right. Congratulations on the new building, too.
Thank you so much. We will have a big open house. We want the community to come out because if it wasn't for our Muskegon community, we would not be moving. And to be a minority business owner that is moving into downtown Muskegon, that's
Yes.
huge, y'all. 8
Yes.
West Walton. We're going to be right between the county jail. Don't get us twisted. We are not 25 West Walton. West Walton, come visit us. They need to see us there. They need to be represented. And I want all of Muskegon to come out so they can see black and brown faces right downtown or along with everybody else because that is
Yes.
our space. We pay those tax dollars and we deserve it.
Absolutely. Come on now. Absolutely. Absolutely. And Mari, if they want to order Navarro, how can they get a hold of you?
Yeah, so we are on Facebook. The link to order is in our About section. Or just come in. You guys know where we're at. We're there Wednesday through Saturday, 11:30 to 7. And yeah, thank you so much we're almost a year since Felix and I took over. It'll be next month. So thank you guys for an amazing first year.
Awesome. Well, thank you, ladies, so much for taking the time out to join me today. I really, really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to just bigger and better things from both of you. And then also, you bringing others along. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, collaboration over competition all the time. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Well, thank you, ladies. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, that is our show for today, everyone. Tune in next week, Making Moves Monday. I'll have Chauncey Williams and Paul Kurtzel on with their new apprenticeship program, and also Anik Sane with her uh, mentorship program. So those will be the guests for next week. As always, Like I tell you every week, collaboration over competition. Just do it, y'all. Coming up next in the 3 o'clock hour, we got the afternoon jams with PA. Y'all keep it locked right here, 103.7.
The wait is over. The all-new